So I wanted to make this video. I wanted to address the common question that I keep getting about this Parasite cleanse. And I want to talk to you guys about how beneficial that's been for me during this process of doing this 100 days of juicing. So what I want to first do is I want to take a step back and let's talk about like what an actual parasite is. So parasites are organisms that feed off of essentially toxicity or weaker organisms. So let me give you an example of what that means. So say you're driving down the street and you see a dead skunk or a dead rabbit or a dead deer. I'm sorry to be a little bit explicit in my language, but what happens when those dead carcasses of an animal are on the street? There are going to be two things that happen. First of all, you're going to see a lot of flies that are going to kind of hover around that dead body. And what those flies are actually doing, they're laying eggs, which are essentially maggots, which will be the parasites that will decompose that dead animal and will allow that essentially that dead animal to kind of be recycled back into life, recycled into the soil. So you kind of think about parasites from the mindset of everything kind of revolves around the circle with nature. Like there's nothing that's ever lost or nothing that's ever added into nature. Everything has its particular place. So there are a species of organisms called decomposers, and this is where parasites come into play. So all parasites are not necessarily bad because there's parasites all over the world. If you think about, there's a particular category of parasites will be bacteria, and the human body is made up of over 75 to 100 trillion different microorganisms or different bacterias. So when you're thinking about parasites, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I will say that I would say a majority, maybe 60 to 75% of people have parasites. And it's easier to look at the symptoms more so than it is to look at how you actually accumulate those parasites in your body over time. So with that, a number of different symptoms that will let you know that you have parasites are going to be fatigue, lack of energy, lack of motivation, different skin issues, so skin rashes, eczema, having skin irritations. You're gonna see a lot of digestive problems such as constipation, like persistent gas, diarrhea. The big one, and this is kind of where it comes to when it deals with juicing, is that you never feel full. You have a constant hunger, you have constant cravings. Sometimes you have feelings of anxiety, and then also the realization that I knew I had parasites was that I had like a lot of excessive drooling during sleep. And that kind of led me to some research that let me knew that I did have parasites. And then I've also seen my parasites in my stools when I did a juice fast last year, back in 2019. So with that being said, I'm sure somebody resonates with one of those different symptoms. And how this relates to when it comes to juice fasting is that most people struggle, I'm gonna say within that probably day 3-ish to day probably 10, 11, 12-ish, like the first 3 days to about 2 weeks. And what happens is that your body and your mind are literally going at war. And I hate to use that language, but that's the language that I'm gonna use to kind of address my point. I play competitive sports my whole life, so I'm very blunt and I'm to the point. So if you can't handle that, then maybe this isn't the channel for you, but I like to speak very directly. So when you're juice fasting, you're gonna have this constant war going on in your head. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm hungry, I wanna eat. You're constantly thinking about food. You're thinking about some very sugary, something probably starchy, some bread, some type of cheese. You're thinking about all these different foods that parasites love. And that right there will let you know that you probably have parasites within your body. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just giving you the facts of what I've researched and the experience that I've gone through having actually done the cleanse. So with that being said, the largest parasites that there are in the human body are going to be things such as your tapeworms, your pinworms, different yeast, different fungi, different bacteria. And the main one that we're going to address today is really the Candida. And that is a type of fungus that really exists in your mouth and is used to break down starches and sugar, so sugar metabolism. But the problem is that this can lead to overgrowth. It leads to overgrowth because of just, I'm gonna be blunt with it, is that just the standard American diet and the foods that we eat aren't necessarily the best and the most optimal for our body. And so these type of Candida love the junk food, the sugars, the breads, the flour, the unbleached white flour that's very common, especially in America. And so this Candida overgrowth is what is going to cause a lot of your cravings. So I decided probably about day 30 into my juice fast is when I kind of started to kind of research this. I heard Dr. Morris talked about it, kind of rung a bell in my head, and I was like, let me go look deeper into this. I was kind of like just really blown away by it. I think as many of you are when I've kind of addressed it on here. That's why I think I'm getting a lot of different questions and people asking about, what is this Parasite cleanse? So I started off taking 2 different products. The first product was one that I found through a recommendation. Some of you guys might know him as Dan, the Life Regenerator. And they have a company called Paradigm. Let me show you that product here real quick. All right, so this is the first supplement that I took. This is called the Herbal Blood. This is by a company called Paradigm. I was recommended this by Dan the McDonald. You can find him on Instagram, Life the Regenerator. So I've been taking this probably about day 35 is when I started taking this. And the main herbs that you're looking for in any supplement to help kill parasites are going to be woodworm, which we see right here, and then black walnut. So those are always going to be the 2 really herbs from nature that will naturally just kill off parasites and kind of just relieve a lot of those cravings that you're having. All right, so I started taking these about maybe 2 weeks ago, and honestly, I've had a lot better results. Not results, but I just feel like this is doing more work than necessarily the products from Paradigm. No knock against them. I still take those every day, so maybe it's a 1-2 combination. But the first one is the Parasite M, and this one, obviously, it has the black walnut, which is the key herb that you're looking for in any tincture or supplement to help kill the parasites. And these ones are going to go after essentially all the parasites, especially the bigger ones, like the worms and the flukes. Now, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell if anybody has those, but you'll see them come out of your stools if you do have them. And then the other one is the Parasite G, which is more just a general tincture. This one has the woodworm and it has the black walnut. And so what I recommend, honestly, is that you do. All right, I'm gonna just be blunt. Like, you want to start your juice fast and maybe get like 4, 5, 6, 7 days into the juice fast and then start doing the parasite cleanse, because parasites, they love the starches, they love the junk food, they love the bread, they love the yeast, they love the meat. So there's no point in essentially taking the parasite cleanse if you're still eating those different foods before you do a juice fast. It would just kind of be counterintuitive and you'd just be wasting your money. So what I recommend is that you start a juice fast, you get into maybe day 4, day 5, and then you start to address, start taking these supplements. And you can get the supplements, either the pills from Paradigm, or you can go to Dr. Morris's website and you can grab the tinctures. So one thing I will say with the parasite cleanse, just like the detox, just like the juice cleanse, you will experience detox symptoms. Everybody will experience those symptoms differently. I definitely experienced a number of different detox symptoms, especially when I started taking when I started taking these pills, I probably had maybe 2 or 3 days, which was pretty rough. And you're feeling those symptoms when the parasites are starting to die off. And you want to do a couple of rounds of a parasite cleanse because you want to kill essentially the parasites that are in you right now. You want to kill the eggs that they've laid, and then you want to kill basically their offspring. So right now I'm still doing my juice fast. Like day 102, and so I'm probably 70 days into doing a parasite cleanse, and I'm still addressing that issue. But one thing that I can say, just from my own personal experience, is that the cravings and like that war that I've had going on in my mind has really pretty much been eliminated. Obviously there's times where, you think about a particular food, or you're around people and, you see food and the thought crosses your mind, but the thought doesn't become sticky. And I think that's the issue that a lot of people have, and that a lot of people can resonate with when they're doing a juice fast, is that they have this constant thought going on in their head about, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. But when you address the parasites, I would likely say that you're going to be able to succeed and go further into your juicing cleanse and your detoxing, because you're addressing really a main issue that nobody really talks about. So I just wanted to make this video. I might have ran a little bit long, but I wanted to just kind of address the question that's really been commonly asked to me about this parasite cleanse. So I hope this helps. If you need anything, just reach out to me on a DM or just shoot me a message, and I'll definitely give you links, recommendations, whatever you guys need. So with that said, I'll catch you guys later.